Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video, and today I was planning to jump in and do my queen summons, but then I kind of noticed something crazy in the game that I just had to get this video out right away, and I'm sure other people have noticed by now, but they went ahead and put another polychromatic sparkle pack, and I have been buying these things out. Now, the new one they put was kind of interesting. It was a little bit spendier than a normal one, but you got 4,000, right? Which was more than enough that I needed to fill up my final crystal room. Well, what I found out is they kind of just shadow dropped crystal room abilities without announcing it. So like during the last community stream, I was predicting they were going to announce crystal room abilities there because they had said on launch that those weren't in the game yet. And I figured since right now would be the point where people would get there for the first time for pay-to-play players, right, that decided to pay for it. I thought they would announce it during the community stream. They did not, and it turns out they just shadow dropped it. It is in the game. I've used it. I've tested it. So I want to do kind of a beginner guide to talk about what Crystal Room ability is and why they're good and why you might want to try to get these, right? So let's go ahead. Let's go to my enhanced tab. This is pretty wild. I'm like, between DOKKAN and now DFFOO doing this, like, it's just been awesome with, like, kind of these surprise things popping up without getting spoiled for me. It's kind of fun when, like, you see something for the first time in-game that you're not expecting. It's really cool. So I'm going to go to my crystal room. So what you're going to notice here is I finished my red. It is 90 out of 90, 18 out of 18. So what happened is when I finished that red chamber, it gave me a new ability. I didn't get to choose, it just gave me one. Now, the one thing that I think a JP player maybe can clarify in the comments is, you know, the ability you get, is it based on the color you choose, or do they just give you the same abilities in sequential order? My assumption is that everybody, no matter what room you do, is going to get the same ability I got. And then when you get your second room, you'll get the next one and so on. I think it's going to be sequential. But if it is tied to, like, the color and you get different abilities on the color, please let me know in the comments so that we can clarify that out for players, right? So I finished my room, and then it gave me this big pop-up in tutorial telling me I've got a crystal ability. So let me explain how this works. So when you finish a room, you're going to get, like, a permanent amount of crystal ability points. So let me go into the party tab and show you that. So we're going to go into the party tab here. All right, so in the party tab, you're going to notice in the bottom right, it's going to be right here where I'm clicking. You'll see just to the left of that little blip there, you'll see a crystal with a 10. So what happened was I unlocked a new crystal ability, and it gave me 10 crystal points. So what happens is during a fight, you'll have access to whatever crystal abilities you have available to you, but they will cost a certain amount of points to use in battle. So what happened is if I click on this, you can see I got a crystal ability called Crystal Ability Attack. And so what it is during battle, I can use this at any time. It's not tied to force gauge. It's not tied to burst, anything like that. You pop it whenever you want. But it costs 10 crystal points to use. So during a fight, because I only own 10 crystal points, I can only pop that once per fight. Now, my assumption is in the future, when you earn more crystal points, you could probably use the same ability more than once, provided you have enough points to use it, but then you won't be able to use other abilities. That's my assumption. Once again, JP players, correct me in the comments. Maybe it is limited to once per fight, even if you have more crystal points, but my assumption, because they're giving you points as like a payment method, my assumption is as long as you can pay for it, you can keep using it, right? So my first ability is called Crystal Ability Attack. So this is it looks like it's a fixed damage attack. That is a magic damaging attack. And the thing is it kind of has a negative to it. It's a very powerful attack, but it consumes 50% of the HP damage bonus when used during a force time. So because the attack is so powerful, they kind of punish you and they remove 50% of your bonus. Now, this isn't necessarily bad because we've seen with some ramp methods, you can get up there super fast. You could use this at 999 and go down to 949. It wouldn't be a huge deal. You're still going to do crazy amount of damage. The next attack is going to put you back up the cap anyways. So what I want to do is I want to put this in theory, show you how to use it in a fight, and get to see it, right? So we're just going to hop into a fight here. I'm just going to go into the Astos fight. And to make it easier, because I don't want to, like, go crazy here, so let me go to quest. We're just going to go into the Lufenia fight, because in the Lufenia fight, I can just start at full force, and we're going to try this out with a force, and you're going to be able to see how this interacts, right? So let's go to this Lufenia fight here. And the other thing I want to show you guys, because I'm sure the first thing people are thinking is, do I have to be using my crystal color characters to use this? And the answer is no. You just own this skill. Does not matter what team you throw out there, and you're going to get it. So as an example, my crystal room is red. I'm jumping in here with a dark crystal, a white crystal, and a yellow. So no red crystal users in sight. You'll see in the bottom right, my skill is still assigned for the crystal. I'm going to go ahead and hop in. We'll just grab a friend unit here. And we're going to hop in and try it out. So a couple of things we're going to look for. I did pre-test this, but the one thing I forgot to watch is if it actually consumes a force turn. I assume it does, but we will double check that right now to make sure. So we'll go ahead and we'll just hit something with you. Also, we got the announcement about like the Re-Shinryu. I might make a separate video with my thoughts on that. I wanted a few days to kind of get community reaction and kind of like my thoughts on it. So I might actually do like a community reaction video. So we'll see. So I'll give you guys a chance. I probably won't record it for like a day or two. I made a YouTube post announcing that like this Lufenia orb is coming to Shinryu fights. And I've gotten a lot of comments on it so far. So if you want a chance to be in a video, go to my like community page on my YouTube channel. It'll be the newest post at the top. But if you make comments on there with your opinions on the Re-Shinryu fight, I will include it in the video if I have time, depending on like how many are in there. But at the amount I have right now, I probably could include everybody. So if you want a chance at being in one of my videos, go ahead and comment on that post with your thoughts on Re-Shinryu. I think I might make a video on that. Okay, so I have Astos here. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to drop down a force time. So we're just going to hit this to get the force gauge going, right? All right, so we'll do that. All right, and then what we'll do is we'll just grab, well, we'll just leave, I mean, Yuna can charge just fine, right? So we'll just cheer, and you'll see like big gains, right? 95%. Let's do 2 cheers. All right, so we have a little bit of gauge to work with, right? So we're at 315% and our force is at 8. Now you can see I can hit the crystal button and my crystal ability attack appears. It costs 10, so I'm going to go ahead and use that at 315. And let's see how much damage at 300%. So we got like about 5 mil, and it does eat up a force turn, right? Now, what I'll probably do later on, like this is kind of exciting because this is just like a whole new toy for me to play with. I foresee this being a button depending on the character you're using. This could be a button you press to end a force time, get a lot of damage at the end. Losing the 50% won't matter because it's the last hit. So I'll do a little bit of testing later on and just see like how much damage we're getting at a full gauge. But yeah, 5 mil at 300% seems somewhat decent. It's not going to like out damage Astos or anything, but it's an extra button you can press to get free damage. And the other abilities as they come out in the future are going to do other things. So it's cool. It's just another avenue with more buttons you can press. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think of the Crystal Room abilities just coming out of nowhere. Let me know if you've gotten your first room done yet. I'm guessing it's going to be very few players because you would have to be willing to buy all those packs. But this might change some of your strategies because what I heard some players were doing is they were just doing the stats and then moving on to another room and just doing the stats, which is a decent strat because the stats are really important. But now this may motivate you because now you're earning actual abilities, but you got to fully complete the room. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.